watching Fox 13's Good Day Tampa Bay.
And it's time to check in with Charlie Belcher. Good morning.
Good day to you, Jennifer Epstein. We are in Bradenton this morning. It was really important to try to get down to Mantee, Sarasota, try to get down a little closer to where this Hurricane Milton came in and did the most damage. I mean, the damage is so widespread for these last two storms, right? Helene all up and down the coast, and then Milton so widespread with the damage. It was the first time I saw Tropicana Field with my own eyes. And I know that that's, you know, there are homes, homes destroyed, much more important than that structure, of course. But it's such an iconic structure and such an emblem of the greater Tampa Bay area. I couldn't help but like wax poetic in my head a little bit to think that that's almost a great example of the Tampa Bay area still. Damaged, battered, will never be exactly the same, but still standing. But still standing.
Oh.
It's standing there. You know, it's standing there strong. The little roof part still waving, but it's still standing. So I couldn't help but think that, like, you know, that is us. That we're damaged. We're never gonna quite be the same. We'll rebuild this community, but we are still standing. We are still
strong,
standing. And so that's and strong, right? Our core is strong. Our foundation is strong, even though there have been houses washed off foundations. And then as soon as you then cross the Skyway, you start seeing damage. Whereas through my travels through Pasco and Hillsborough have been, oh, bad, okay, fine, everything looks fine, you know, then bad and bad. Where here it's more, oh, evidence. Like you can hardly go a block and not see some evidence that there was a massive storm that came through. So yesterday I quoted Mr. Rogers in this famous quote of when he was a boy and he would see something scary on the news, his mother would say, look for the helpers. And that's a great message to our children. Now as adults, we are the helpers. But if you tell our children that, look, even if something terrible has happened, something good is happening too, and those are the helpers. So we've come down to check in with the Salvation Army of Mantee County. They are some of the helpers here. In fact, this particular command of the Salvation Army Mantee County, they celebrated their 100th anniversary last year. They were formed in 1923, Jen. They've been around that long, trying to take care of this community, more than 100 years. They have been, you see right there, the Bell Ringer Fair coming up October 21st.
'Tis the season.
Listen, and every time, this is going to give a whole new meaning to when you see that bell out in front of Publix or the grocery store of your choice. Whenever you see them, because every dollar you put in there, like here in Mantee County, that money is being used right now for hurricane recovery and support. They've been delivering meals out to the barrier islands. They've been delivering cleaning supplies. They've got their own canteen truck. It was like a big food truck that they can feed first responders and as well as victims of these storms. It was damaged, a tree limb. The tree had been trimmed off the road, but a limb still hung out, and the truck ran into it, and had someone be sitting in the passenger seat, they would have been injured. No one was injured, but it totaled the truck. So they're down one canteen truck. So the money you're going to put in that pot here in Mantee County this Christmas season will go to be buying them a new canteen. But they're doing some amazing work. So we wanted to just come here and I wanted to get down here just as close as we could without being in anybody's way, but share the story of the helpers. So the Salvation Army of Mantee County, and by no means am I trying to insinuate at all that these are the only helpers here. These are one of many helpers throughout the greater Tampa Bay area. But I'm going to share the story of the Salvation Army of Mantee County and the good deeds they are doing. We're in Bradenton. This is where we're going to have a good day, Tampa Bay.
Oh, it sounds like a great story. Looking forward to it, Charlie. Thank you.
Good day to you, Russell. When you think of the first responders after a tragedy, of course, Red Cross comes to mind. In our area, Feeding Tampa Bay, Metropolitan Ministries, I know, is doing a lot of good work. Well, add the Salvation Army to that list. We are in Bradenton this morning, checking in with the Salvation Army of Mantee County. Look at the bucket of cleaning supplies that they're passing out, from a squeegee to a push broom, garbage bags, work gloves, all sorts of things you're going to need. And by the way, a waterproof bucket that you can keep your valuables in for the next storm that comes through. Sorry, I don't mean to say next storm. I mean eventually. Hopefully not this year. Eventually. Useful tools here and an important part of the community. Meals, supplies. We're going to tell you what the Salvation Army is doing here in Mantee County to help in the recovery effort. Hey, Rhodes. I like another Mr. Rhodes here on Good Day Tampa Bay. Welcome, Nash. Glad. No relation, everybody. No, but welcome, Nash Rhodes.
Thank you, Charlie.
I am in Bradenton this morning, and we're checking in with the helpers. So many people helping neighbors, and so many beautiful organizations here to help. And sometimes you don't necessarily think of the Salvation Army as a frontline responder, but by golly, they are. Especially here in Mantee County with this double wallop they've been going through, providing much-needed meals and cleanup kits and just support and some counseling and a kind ear is also very important. We'll check in with the Salvation Army here in Mantee County when Good Day Tampa Bay continues. Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from Bradenton today. And you just heard us thanking those helpers and those first responders. And we think about the Red Cross and some of these other agencies, of course, our law enforcement, sheriff's offices and police departments up and down the coast. But add the Salvation Army to that. Not just the angel trees and not just giving out meals and toys at Christmas time, which is so utterly important, of course, but when you put a little money in that little red bucket when you hear the bell ringing, it's also going to help our neighbors and friends through hurricane relief. Major Tom Richmond is here with the Salvation Army of Mantee County, which, by the way, this particular branch or command has been around for now 101 years.
101 years, yeah. We've been here since June the 23rd, 1923.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I have to be honest with you, Major Tom, if I can call you Major Tom.
Please do.
I love that.
Ground control.
That's right.
Major Tom.
I'll be ground control. You be Major Tom.
I'll be there.
I didn't even think about the Salvation Army being a frontline first responder to a hurricane event.
Certainly. Well, it's like we talked about earlier. Any disaster is local first.
Right.
And the Salvation Army for many, many years now has been responding to mine disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, all of that, with the same mission, and that is others, to take care of the needs of our people here that are hurting the most.
You're a spiritual organization, obviously,
yes,
and that spirituality, that comfort. Explain to you were telling me about the red on the shoulders. Explain that for
Certainly.
me.
Any of the uniforms that you see with the red on the shoulders, all of us that have the red are ordained ministers. We're all ministers with the Salvation Army. We've gone through seminary, and we all have our congregation. And our congregation just doesn't stop with those four walls.
Sure.
We look at our whole community and say, we need to be there when the need is the most. And everybody in Wearford needs Jesus.
You got to nourish the body, and you handle that, but nourishing the soul and nourishing just being a compassionate ear to listen to, and as an ordained minister, I would assume you have training in how to handle when somebody is rather tense or somebody's going through a really tough time. To be able to be that sort of listener, I'm sure really plays an important role.
Yes, it does. You know, when Jesus came, he didn't come with just empty hands. He came with a full heart, and he reached out into the community and said, you know, the Lord loves you this much. And the Salvation Army takes that message and that mission and takes it to heart.
Yeah.
When someone is hurting, we don't need to sit back and judge. We need to be there alongside them, with them through these times. And that's the one thing about these storms. We all went through them.
We did. And I hope you and yours are okay. I hope your home is okay.
We had a little bit of damage, and our properties had a little bit of damage. But the wonderful thing about it is that the community's come alongside us, too, to help us.
And we're going to remember you when we see those red buckets this season. When we come back, we'll talk about the works that they're doing. We'll talk about the truck that Major Tom was in that went through a horrific accident and could have killed him, quite frankly. And we'll talk about the meals being prepared today to continue this mission when Good Day Tampa Bay continues.
It's also time to check back in with Charlie Belcher. Hi, good morning.
Good day to you, Russell, Laura. I'm in Bradenton this morning. We're visiting the Salvation Army of Mantee County. They've been on the front lines helping the recovery after Helene and then getting wrapped up in Milton, of course. And then during Hurricane Milton, they had damage here at the Salvation Army headquarters. This was a giant mango tree. You see, topples over, brings the sidewalk up with it, demolishes some bikes that were parked here in that fence. It was a really big tree. It's been cleaned up for the most part, but you see it went all the way over to that other fence. Did not get into the building, thank goodness. And again, you know, cosmetic, comparatively minor damage, but still something that's going to cost money here to the Salvation Army. We're talking about what they're doing, the meals they're providing, the cleaning kits they're providing, the good work they're doing to help those recover from these storms. Stick around, everybody. We're checking in with the Salvation Army when Good Day Tampa Bay continues.
And Charley Belcher's in Bradenton this morning at the Salvation Army of Mantee County. We're going to check in with him when we come back.
Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charley Belcher coming to you from Bradenton this morning. We're visiting the Salvation Army of Mantee County. They have been really busy on the front lines, first responding to Hurricane Helene, providing meals, providing cleanup kits. And then, of course, Hurricane Milton comes along, and they're right back at it. And of course, not just the Salvation Army of Mantee, Salvation Armies throughout the Southeast, still up in North Carolina, Georgia, it has been an army response for the Salvation Army. And Salvation Armies not affected have come to offer their support here in Manatee, Sarasota, from as far away as Canada. Salvation Army out of Canada. Monica Caruth is here to tell us about the effort here in Manatee County. Gosh, you were still in the middle of Helene when Milton hits.
Right. Really quite unbelievable, right,
Yeah.
that we would get hit twice like that. And we had responded to Helene. We were over on Anna Maria Island. We'd spent time in Cortez and, you know, feeding residents and providing supplies. And who would know that less than 2 weeks later, they would get hit so hard. People had lost so much already, and we didn't skip a beat. We were right back in there making sure that people had what they needed.
Give me a sense of what you've been able to do so far in the last few weeks.
Right, so we've provided over 3,200 meals, more than 3,000 drinks, snacks, 500 cleaning kits, like you saw here. And then just as we spoke about before, the counseling and just listening to people, giving them, you know, some encouragement and just showing support and letting the community know that your Salvation Army is here when these times come.
I mean, over your shoulder, bell ringer job fair, October 21st at 10 a.m. When I see these buckets this season, I'm going to think a little differently about it. I didn't think about you guys as frontline responders like this, but is that where that money in that bucket will go to help support something like this?
Absolutely. Not a lot of people realize the full scope of the services that we provide. And yes, when that money goes in the kettle, it's going to fulfill all the programs that we provide in the community. And we had somebody over on Anna Maria Island one day that was, you know, taking advantage of a warm meal. And he says, you know, I always support Salvation Army, and didn't realize that one day I would be the one needing the services.
Wow.
And that's the kind of support we've had. You know, we've been over there, and so, you know, it's been coming back to us, and they want to give back because we stepped up for them.
And if people want to help, they want to volunteer, either providing services you're providing or ring a bell out in front of a store,
You're right.
they can do so?
SalvationArmyBradenton.org. They can find all the volunteer opportunities. Give us a call. We are getting bell ringers registered. We have our Angel Tree program kicking off, but we do so much more than feeding the community in our shelter.
And I have to tell you really quickly, poor Monica just relocated from Colorado in September. This is her first fall in Florida. It's not always like this, I promise.
That's what they tell
you
me.
You poor thing. Stick around, everybody. We'll talk about more of the good they're doing when Good Day Tampa Bay continues. I'm with some other helpers. Wheelchairs for Kids certainly doing lots of helping. And I'm with some other helpers in Bradenton this morning, Manatee County, Salvation Army of Manatee County. It can be dangerous to be on the front lines for storm recovery. Major Tom now knows that all too well. He's still sore because of it. I'll explain what happened to him and how they might need your help for a new canteen truck when Good Day Tampa Bay continues. Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from Bradenton this morning. We're visiting the Salvation Army of Mantee County. So many Salvation Armies throughout the Southeast have been dealing with the recovery of these storms, Helene and then Milton. Front lines, of course, here, delivering meals, delivering cleanup kits, offering just a shoulder to cry on or to lean on, some counseling if people want it or need it here in this area. Major Tom Richmond is here to tell us that it can be dangerous when you are a first responder. Before we show the picture of what this canteen looks like now, this is a food truck you call the canteen.
Yes, sir.
And you were using this post-Helene?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, we did it during Helene. We were on Bradenton Beach, serving over there. And we had just come over here on Saturday, and we're serving people in this community here when I was on my way down to Sarasota to drop it off to be used in Bradenton.
And it was dark?
Very dark. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock on Saturday night.
Saturday. Now, which this past Saturday? So after Milton?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought this happened after Helene. So after Milton, Saturday night, still no power throughout this area.
Right.
You're driving, and from your perspective, you're driving, nobody in the passenger seat. You thought the truck exploded. All you know is you're driving along, and wham.
Yeah.
All right.
We have propane on the vehicle that we use to cook with, and when it seemed like the cab exploded, I thought the propane had gone off.
All right, now I want to show the video here, the photos. This is what the canteen truck looks like at the moment.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Well, as we're driving, the canteen is 12 foot tall. The deputies went back later after the accident and said that there was a tree that had fallen over, and about 2 foot of the tree where the top had been cut off, but 2 foot of the tree was sticking out into the roadway, and it was about 10 foot tall. The canteen's 12 foot tall, and it caught the passenger side of the vehicle, and you can see from the pictures, it just took everything.
If somebody had asked to go with you that evening and you said, no, I've got this, I'll go by myself, had that person been sitting in the passenger seat, it would not have been good.
It would not have been good, yeah. It's bad enough that, you know, I concussion and a few other things, back issues, hip issues, that type thing, but, you know, God's good. I'm still here.
But now you need a new canteen.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I'm sure they're not cheap.
No, sir, they're not. They're about $82,000.
Yeah. And again, when we see the red buckets this season, that money will go to be replacing that, I'm sure.
No, sir. That money will go to help the community where that money is raised. We'll either have private donors that will help the insurance company to take care of the van. So
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Made that clear.
We want to make sure that folks know that that money that we raise here stays local. We try to take care of the folks here. We have the Christmas program along with our social services that we do. So this is a disaster program that'll help pay for that.
Good. Good. I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad you're okay. When we come back, we're going to talk to the person cooking a lot of meals for the community. They always do that here, but even more so now. Stick around, everybody, and let's all do our best to make this a good day, Tampa Bay.
And let's check back in with Charlie Belcher, live for us in Manatee County. Charlie, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Laura. I'm in Bradenton at the Salvation Army of Mantee County. So they're used to feeding people here. They provide dinner, a hot meal every evening for anyone in the community who needs that. We're talking a couple of hundred people every single night. Well, now, with the hurricane recovery happening, they wanted to make sure hot meals could get out to people who needed them out on the barrier islands or wherever they were suffering. So add another 200 meals to that to go out now in the field, not just be served here. We're going to talk to the cook, the gentleman who is cooking up all of those meals here for the Salvation Army Manatee County, and why he cares so much to do the most good he can. We'll check in with Brad, Chef Brad, when Good Day Tampa Bay continues.
And then Charlie Belcher's at the Salvation Army in Bradenton. And we're going to check in with him when we come back.
Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from Bradenton this morning. We're at the Salvation Army of Manatee County. This particular command or branch of the Salvation Army has been around for 101 years serving this area. They've been on the front lines here after Hurricanes Helene and Milton, providing meals, providing cleanup kits, providing a shoulder to lean on. But back to those meals. It was very important to them to get hot meals to people who need it most. It's one thing to hand people a box of food, and that's great. You know, they just need nutrition at a certain time. But if you're without power, to have a hot meal, if you're been rained on, you're wet, you're miserable, boy, a hot meal can just really make your day. And that's where Brad comes in, because this guy is already used to cooking for people in need. In fact, here at the Salvation Army, Manatee County, you offer a hot meal to the community. Anyone who needs a meal can come in here. And Brad, how many people are we talking on a regular basis?
About 200 people.
Okay. Cooking for 200 on a regular basis?
At least 200.
Yeah. But now we got these hurricanes, and you're trying to provide another 200 meals to go out in the field, right?
Correct.
How do you do that? You
Planning.
double a recipe, but my goodness, is that what?
Planning, perfect planning. You do the numbers.
Yeah.
You try to come up with a meal that will feed the masses, not something that's going to be, I guess, difficult.
Sure.
To
So they're like
serve.
stews, big things of pasta. I would assume.
Pasta, anything with rice, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, a gravy on top of that, maybe some type of beef burgundy.
And what kind of staff are you dealing with here? Because you're talking now, I mean, I'm not good at math, but that's like 400 meals a day. What kind of staff is back here doing this?
It's myself and another cook, basically. And I have an assistant in the kitchen that helps with the dishes and everything like that.
That's a lot of work, Brad.
It's a lot of work, but we get it done.
Yeah. To be a part of this effort on a daily basis, when you see the people out here in your dining room who you're helping, and to know that where your food is going out to help people who are going through the worst of times right now,
right,
that's got to make you feel pretty good.
I communicate with them a lot, so they let me know the feedback of if they liked the meal, if they didn't like the meal.
Of course.
So, you know, we keep that in consideration and we move forward trying to please them. That's the job.
You like being a part of this Salvation Army?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You've cooked your whole life?
20 plus years.
Yeah.
A little bit everywhere. Restaurants, the White House, I've been everywhere.
The White House? Brad, you were a cook in the White House? You're like an onion, man. Yeah, I keep peeling things back here, and then
There's a lot going on here.
All right, what'd you do at the White House?
I was a chef manager at a bistro on the campus there.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. So of all those jobs you've done, this has to be the most rewarding.
This is the most rewarding, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. You feel like you really did something when you leave here. The people let you know.
And oh, by the way, you got water in your house after Helene.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
I'm sorry about
So
that.
we're working on that now, you know, but,
Yeah.
you know, we're moving forward. We're moving forward.
Thank you, man. You're an inspiration. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Appreciate
Thank you.
you. Cook up something good today. Man.
Oh, definitely.
I tell you, my takeaway, Russell,
Wow, he was something. Wow.
my takeaway from the last 2 or 3 weeks is people like Brad. And I've met so many people down here, it was my first time in Manatee County, who really, really hit hard. And I'll say, how'd your house make it through? This one lady said, oh, we're fine. Our roof caved in, but we're fine. Our roof caved in, but we're fine. Strong, resilient people down here helping each other. And nobody wants to be the one to admit that theirs was the worst.
Yeah.
They know somebody out there might be a little worse off, so we're fine. Roof caved in, but we're fine. Water in his house, but he's fine. He can go to work and cook 400 meals.
Yeah. Something, huh? Good people out there.
Yeah, those are the stories
Good
that come out
people
of
out
something
there.
like this, yeah.
We don't report on them nearly enough. I'm glad you did this today.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks. See you.
All right.